To reach this point, she had entered into temporary contract marriages with 100 men. That is, short-term marriage agreements. Even in her traditional robe, the extraordinary beauty of her body features was visible. But she was hiding her trembling, hands and feet from everyone. She invested 7 years to reach this destination. No one could hear her fast heartbeat. But because of being nervous, the changes in her facial expressions were clearly visible. And why wouldn't she be scared? She was going to meet the one whom even the world's superpower got tired of searching for 3 weeks, and in the end, after being exhausted, started talking nonsense. Yes, she was going to meet the Iranian Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. But how did this woman get access to the Iranian Supreme Leader? After all, who was she? Was she a Muslim or a Jew? Shia or Sunni? French or Iranian? Journalist or a Jewish agent? The one providing addresses for Ismail Haniyeh and Hassan Nasrullah, or just someone who researched Islam? The one who created a network of spies in Iran, or the one called the devotee of Khamenei? So let's find out today how Israel's secret agency, Mossad, set up its trap in Iran, such that from within Iran, drones were launched against Iran. Who was she? Who was telling Israel the exact location of every target in Iran? Who was delivering news from the bedrooms of Iran's high officials to Israel's secret agency? To solve all these puzzles, we have to know this woman, Katherine Shakdam. Women, wealth, land. These are the 3 battles. After centuries of efforts, the land of Muslims, that is Jerusalem, was taken over by Jews. Now, by using 2 things, they want to make the world their own: women and immense wealth, not only in their flag, but also in our future. One day, the whole world will be under their control. This is not a current story. It is centuries old, involving sex, science, lessons, and punishment. How did Israel turn them into their strength and use them against Iran? You will understand from today's story. And I am sure that after hearing such an interesting story, you will definitely press the subscribe button. Anyway, there is an old story. When a girl is born to the son of an ideological Holocaust survivor Jew, that girl's grandfather also fought hard to save Jews from the Nazis. In other words, a girl from a strict Jewish family. But you will be shocked to hear that this girl accepts Islam when she grows up. I will tell you how. But first, know that her father was a secular Jew. This girl earns a bachelor's degree in psychology, and then, from a London university, she also earns a double master's degree in finance and communication. Yes, how talented she is. She has developed communication skills. She is also proficient in accountancy, and she knows how to manipulate minds because she studied psychology. Now, what will this girl do? Is she going to play a very big game? But for now, set all these degrees aside. Now, in this girl's life, a Yemeni Muslim enters. They meet at the university, spend some time together, and get married. This was 2004. After some time of marriage, this girl accepts Islam. Yes, everyone was very happy. But wait a minute. A girl from such a family whose grandfather fought the German Nazis and was a Holocaust survivor. When such a Zionist Jewish girl accepts Islam, no one was surprised? Anyway, this couple also had 2 beautiful children. This girl started learning everything about Islam. Well, now that she was a Muslim, she should have known everything. But there was a problem here. This girl had accepted Sunni Islam. Why am I calling it a problem? You will understand further now. Anyway, the year 2024 arrived. Here, the sun of the new year had risen. There, in this girl's house, misunderstandings began to pour like fire. The husband and wife were not getting along. The relationship lasted, on good terms, for 10 years. But no one knows what happened now. I will tell you. Now she had to break this relationship so she could form new ones, but not here, in her mission in Iran. Because this girl was none other than Katherine Shakdam, who in 2014 divorced her Yemeni husband, changed her sect from Sunni to Shia, and went to Iran. From a Zionist to a Sunni, and now a devout Iranian, Shia. This was nothing. She had to change her appearance a few more times. In fact, her beauty had to shine even more, in a way that senior commanders would be enchanted. But before casting a spell with her beauty, she used her religious influence with her pen. Yes, she came here as a journalist loyal to the guardianship of the Islamic jurist. Her pen wrote articles in support of the Iranian Revolution, igniting a lamp of revolution in the hearts of readers. In everyone's eyes, she became very faithful, and faithfulness was the key to opening closed doors. From 2015 to 2017, in just 2 years, she became a renowned journalist in Iran. First, she wrote for right-wing news agencies like Mashrek News, Tasnim News, Mer News. But then, her pen's ink began to bring color because she was singing the songs of revolution. Then what? In a short time, she became a regular author on the website of the Iranian Supreme Leader, Khamenei.ir. Now she started writing for Tehran Times and Press TV. During this time, Katherine also conducted 2 major interviews. Now, from Karbala to Qom, and from there to Mossad, she had won the trust of everyone. Not just ordinary people, but she was becoming special to the elite. In this period, she wrote 2 books, whose words proved her faith in the guardianship of the Islamic jurist and being Shia. But who knew that the words winning people's hearts were all lies and deception? These books were Arabia's Rising, under the banner of the first imamand from Mecca to the plan of Karbala, walking with the holy household of the Prophet. Even among high government officials, these books were being discussed. Sentiment opened big doors for her. But now, after the mind, she had to capture hearts, because she had infiltrated, but she couldn't access the secrets, known only to the guardians of the revolution, commanders, and some political ministers. Secrets, like, is Iran going to become a nuclear power? Where are its organizations? Where are its scientists and secret research centers? Where do the leaders of Hamas and Hezbollah come from and go? And most importantly, how to reach the Supreme Leader. To unveil these big secrets, she used her beauty, yes, temporary contract marriage. She entered into short-term marriage agreements one after another with Iranian merchants, revolutionary professors, revolutionary officers, commanders, or ministers. It is claimed that Katherine entered temporary marriages with 100 men. Now, the bedroom doors of high officials had opened for her. Think, can a husband hide secrets from his wife, especially from a spy whose mission is to uncover secrets? Now, Israel was receiving information about Iran's sensitive locations. What would be a drone's target? Which office held which file? Which street would Khamenei's group pass through? Everything. And all of this was being transferred to Mossad's system. No one suspected that this devotee, this supporter of the Iranian Revolution, was Israel's spy who had been a temporary wife to many senior leaders. In many pictures, she was seen with Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi's pro-Shia filmmaker Nader Talebzadeh, smiling. Katherine was also seen with Russian President Putin's advisor, Alexander Dugin, and with Major General Qasem Soleimani's daughter, killed in an American drone attack in 2020. She kept meeting them during her tours across Iran. Her interviews were seen at an international level. Her blogs were read worldwide. In front of the whole world, she succeeded in proving herself pro-Shia, and under this cover, she was conveying all secrets to Israel. But the whole world was on one side, and the final round of her mission was on the other, and this was very difficult, meeting the Iranian Supreme Leader, Khamenei, in person. Yes. Remember that her book on the Iranian Revolution had greatly impressed the Supreme Leader. Now, she asked her friends among the guardians of the revolution to arrange meetings with Khamenei repeatedly. Finally, she entered the final round of her mission, because an invitation to meet the Supreme Leader arrived from Tehran. February 2017. It was raining lightly on the roads of Tehran. Cars without license plates and with blacked-out windows arrived to pick her up from her Tehran hotel. Her Iranian headscarf and robe completely covered her. She was seated in the back of the car between two women from the Guardians of the Revolution. As I mentioned in the introduction, her hands and feet were trembling. She was adjusting her robe repeatedly. With trembling fingers, she was straightening her rings, and in her heart, she was suppressing the fear rising within her, because she knew that today she was going to meet the one some consider the deputy of the Imam. Yes, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. By the way, very few people know about it. After this, the trust of all religious figures in the assembly in Katherine would increase. The commanders took Katherine to a courtyard with trees. From there, she was led to a sitting area with beautifully designed, embroidered, expensive mats. In the sitting area, there were pictures of Khamenei. Katherine thought this place would be like a presidential palace. But it was very simple. There were Arabic-style sofas and cushions on the floor. She was offered a glass of sweet tea and walnuts to eat. She noted every detail carefully. Suddenly, there was a commotion in the courtyard. Seeing Khamenei approaching, her eyes widened. She stood up in respect. Khamenei, through a translator, asked Katherine to sit on the floor, while he sat on a chair. Katherine had been warned not to look at Khamenei or speak until he asked a question. Khamenei was told that Katherine had fully adopted the Shia faith. Not only that, he was aware of the success of Katherine's writings. Katherine claims that Khamenei spoke about a great war to be fought in the future. Khamenei shared his desire to free the Aqsa Mosque from the Jews. Half an hour later, the Iranian guide abruptly left. Khamenei's aura was so strong that when he left, Katherine felt as if she was free from danger. Despite her deep infiltration, she feared being exposed, but her impossible mission was complete. After this meeting, Katherine became a heroine in Iran. Her name appeared in newspapers, TV interviews, articles on Khamenei.ir, and in religious circles. From 2017 to 2022, Katherine's influence grew in Iran for 5 years. She had access to every place, every secret location, and her connection meant Israel was present there, because not only were her eyes seeing everything, but through her eyes, Mossad was seeing all of Iran. Now it was time for Israel to act, and for Katherine to remove her mask. She had to leave Iran. In 2022, as she was leaving for France, she was stopped at the airport. An Interior Ministry officer questioned her, but found nothing, and she flew to France. Now it was time for Iran to be shocked. In February 2022, Katherine published an article in the Times of Israel, writing, "I have seen Iran from within, and now I have returned. I accepted Islam only for infiltration, the guardianship only for access." It was as if an earthquake hit Iran. Religious institutions were shaken. Katherine's interviews were deleted, TV footage was erased, and those she had temporary marriages with, met, or befriended sat with their heads bowed. Then Iran realized it wasn't just infiltration, it was a decades-long mission that leaked their sacred system from within. But by then, it was too late. She had left. Her maps, routes, and faces were now safe in Mossad's computers. The effects of what she left behind began to show. On July 31, 2024, a drone attacked a building thought to be safe in Tehran. In just 8 seconds, Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh was killed along with his 3 sons. Iran was in shock. Just 2 months later, on September 27, 2024, during another dangerous operation in southern Beirut, Hezbollah's leader Hassan Nasrullah was killed in his secret command center. Both attacks targeted different leaders in different countries. But one thing was the same. The target locations were 100% accurate. Such precision, Such real-time intelligence could not come from satellites alone, only from an insider. The question remains, who was giving Israel these locations? Then a name resurfaced in the media: Mossad's undercover agent, Katherine Shakdam, but she had left Iran in 2022. So how did this happen? A theory emerged, unproven but taken seriously by all. Katherine didn't just take information. She left behind people who carried out her planted plans, maps, and targets when the time came. This was a war of ideology, mind, and trust. Then, on June 13, 2025, it became clear that Israel's spy system in Iran had reached a dangerous level. According to an Israeli general on June 27th, Israel killed 30 senior Iranian security chiefs and 11 senior nuclear scientists, targeting over 900 locations. The key was that Israel had accurate maps for the initial attacks. Each target's location was pre-planned, precise, and real-time. This wasn't just due to satellites, but to an internal network and spy data. Despite being attacked from within, Iran did not give up. But will Iran now root out Mossad and raw spies from within? On the other hand, Katherine claims in her interviews that she is not a Mossad spy, just an investigative journalist. She says she accepted Islam to understand what was happening in Iran, but it's telling that she repeated exactly what Mossad asked, like a parrot. What can we say? Not every spy is like Kamran Faridi, openly admitting, "Yes, I am a spy." Before leaving, let me tell you, this Israeli spy entered the homes of Iran's commanders.